Hello and welcome to another video here on my channel. My name is Annette, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about reclaiming my creativity and also in reclaiming my creativity, releasing the fear of being seen in the creative ways I express myself. Um, But yeah, so let's just start with reclaiming creativity. For to start, I feel like ever since I was little, like my earliest memories are of me painting, and it was really a way that I kind of coped when I was younger. I grew up like in a very chaotic household, so I would really just go into my own world, like, while I would, like, paint with, like, my watercolors, so it was very therapeutic for me and definitely such a core memory, like, every year I would get paintbrushes and paints for, like, Christmas and my birthday, and I, like, just loved it. It was such a good outlet for me growing up, and it was always something I really loved doing. It was one of my favorite hobbies. I'm very much a hobbies person. I have a lot of hobbies and I have a lot of like creative ways I like to express myself. Another one of those ways that I like to express myself is through writing. Again, growing up, I remember writing down like the lyrics to like a Coldplay song that I really liked because I really liked Coldplay growing up. And I would just write it down in like my journal because I don't know, there was something that was like my first kind of introduction to, I guess you could say, poetry is lyrics in songs. And then around like 2020 is when I really fell in love with poetry and writing. And that's kind of where it began and where it started for me. And yeah, I feel like I always come back to these things. I always come back to my art. I always come back to writing and also filming YouTube. I started this YouTube in like 2020 as well, and it was doing makeup. So I would do like fun makeup looks. I did a fun one today because I kind of wanted to get back in touch with that again too. Like having fun with my makeup was something I also love to do, and I love to express myself creatively, like get really creative with it and make it really fun and cool and stuff. And through makeup, I also got really into set design. So I'll insert pictures as I go just to show you guys kind of like the stuff I've done. But I really got into set design for a while. I was very into that, and I was really into like lingerie. So I'd make it like a lingerie shoe. I did a calendar for it. I did one for every single month, and I would do like a really cool setup for it. So that was something that was really fun during the time of 2020. Such a fun time, and it was such a fun way to challenge my creativity. I feel like whenever I'm in like this state of creating a lot, that's when I feel the most myself. That's when I feel the most in alignment with my true self and my true essence is when I am creating in any type of way that is like sparking me at the time, you know? And I feel like there's been times in my life where I've kind of lost that. And in losing my creativity, I feel like I lose my spark. I lose my glow. I feel like I have my glow when I'm creative. And whenever I lose that, I feel like dull, if that makes sense. I don't know if someone out there who's like creative feels the same way, but that is literally how I feel. Like it is part of my life force to create. It's part of my energy. It gives me energy. It doesn't take from my energy. It is such an energy giver for me and my spirit. Um so yeah, I feel like coming back to that has been so healing. I feel like I went through kind of a hard time at the beginning of this year, like the end of last year, the beginning of this year. I was like deep in depression, and I'm someone who struggles with my mental health since I was like a teenager. Um and yeah, I was just going through a hard time, and I've do struggle with my mental health, but art and my passions and finding those passions and reigniting those passions are kind of what started to bring back like my life force and my like will to get up in the morning and my will to like keep on going, my will to like see what happens, my will to create and see what something beautiful I can create from that. Like the message just kept coming like your art, create, create. Like that was going to be the thing. That was going to be the driving force for me during this time in my life to get me out of that rut, to get me out of that depression and to get me to feeling like myself again and to filling up my own cup. And I feel like in reclaiming myself through my creativity, I've also just reclaim myself as a whole, if that makes sense. Like it's like I'm coming back to myself. It's like I kind of left myself and then now it's like I'm meeting myself again and I'm loving myself again and I'm filling up my cup and yeah, I feel like it was a very like spiritual and catalyzing moment to reclaim. And for anyone out there listening who loves art and who loves to express themselves and feels like this like pull and this like need to express themselves like it's just something that wants to burst out of you. If you're like someone who's has a million ideas in their head and is like getting anxiety like not doing it, like please take this as your message to do the thing, create the idea, bring life to it, bring action to it. There's like this quote that I really love. I don't know if I'm going to get it fully right, but it is ideas without action create anxiety, or like so is ambition without action creates anxiety. And I feel like that's so real, especially for me. I feel like a big thing for this year for me has been action because I have so many ideas. I have so many things I want to do, but I haven't truly put the action behind it. I haven't truly put like the discipline behind it. And I haven't created a balance between those few things. Like there's the passion, there's the action, and then there has to be discipline if you really want to create and keep pushing it forward. There's also a flow state that goes into that, and there's also a release of control. So I feel like it's a very balanced flow state of reaching to create in a very aligned way with yourself in the universe. But yeah, that's kind of like how I've been feeling lately. And I've been getting into like my first love of painting, which is something I really put on the back burner, like, and I think to bring that forward, I created like this whole space behind me of all my art to just draw inspiration from myself every day so that I can look at it and I can see and be reminded of my creativity and be reminded that that's a big part of me and that's a big part of my passion for life, and that I am a creative person, I am an artist, and I'm also a colorful person. Like I'm not a dull person, I'm not the darkness, I'm not the depression. Like I am so many things and this is one of them, and I think it's just something that I in this season need to be reminded of so that I can keep going, I can keep creating, and I can keep blossoming in the ways that I'm meant to create. Yeah, and I recently also watched this video of like this girl saying like, the idea realm and ideas be dropping into like the mind, and it's like, you know, it's like a download from the universe. Like, I want you to bring this to life. I want you to show this. I want you to create this. And I think that's such a cool thing. I think that's such a beautiful thing. And I love that. And I don't know if this has ever happened for someone else, but have you ever got an idea and you're like, this is an amazing idea. This is a sick idea. And then you see someone do the exact same idea and you're like, I really think it's true though. Like if you don't bring action to your ideas, they might go to someone else and someone else might bring it to life. So, you want to put forth the action and you want to listen to that creative compass within you, and you want to build that connection with the universe and the idea realm of what's really meant to be created through you and put out there. But yeah, but if you want to create and not show it and you want to just create for yourself, that is amazing. Like I've done that like basically like my whole life. Like I've just created because it's something I love. Like I know so many creative people who do the same thing. It's not sometimes it's just like I'm doing it because I love it and it doesn't need to be seen. It's for me, and that's beautiful in itself. But if you are someone who is a creative and feels like they want their art to be seen, they want their their writing to be seen, their videos to be seen. And I would say take the risk, post it, and I feel like there's like there can be fears in that, especially for me. It was like, you know, the fears always come up. It's like, are people going to like it? Is it good enough? Am I good enough? It's like all these like limiting beliefs that want to come into the picture of my art and my creation. And it's like you really have to shift that mindset and you kind of have to self-soothe yourself and be like, it's going to be okay. I'm going to post this, and whether people react well to it or not, whether it receives attention or not, I like it and I put it out there. And I'm proud of that. And I feel like putting yourself out there and conquering that fear of being seen is a constant practice. So, constantly putting yourself out there, constantly feeling vulnerable and having to quiet like the voices of being seen and having to soothe that is a constant practice. And like by practicing that, you're building your confidence. I feel like everything in life is a practice. Like um, emotional intelligence and emotional regulation of the nervous system is a practice. Like yoga is a practice. Um, being an artist is a practice. Like the more you do it, the more confident you are in it, the better you become. It's something that you're going to have to practice, and at first it might feel really uncomfortable, it might feel really scary, it might be like like a little bit of anxiety, but that is just the limiting beliefs, that is just the ego, the need for validation, all these things. But you need to become your own source of validation. You need to become so sure of yourself and so confident in yourself that you conquer that fear, and that you feel more comfortable putting yourself out there and being your most authentic self. You really, and that's like another thing. It's like about being authentic too. Like if you're going to put yourself out there, be authentic, be you. And that comes again with that inner validation, that inner self-worth, that inner confidence, that inner of state of I know who I am and I love who I am and I love what I created. And whether that is received well or not, I am okay and I'm still happy and I'm still fulfilled. Like I'm not doing it for any other reason rather than just putting myself out there and putting my art out there. And whether it's seen by one person or tons of people, it's still something that I'm proud of, and it's still a way that I'm building myself up, and it's still a way that I'm building my confidence. And also, it's one of those things where it's like, again, like if one person sees it or a ton of people see it, it's like if that one person saw it, it might have inspired them. It might have built their confidence in thinking, oh my gosh, like, I might like put myself out there too. Like I see this person doing it, it's inspiring me. Or like, oh, I really liked that person's painting or poem. Like maybe I should start painting again. Maybe I should start writing again. Or, this really inspired me to be more confident in myself. This inspired me. Yeah, like it could be a source of inspiration. And that is a ripple effect in the universe. That is a ripple effect in creation. And that might be the purpose in that moment, is to simply inspire at least one person. And that can change the trajectory of their life, which is crazy. Like everything is a ripple, everything is a domino effect. So, just keep that in mind too. And also another thing is like I think of a lot is like one day I'm going to be old and I'm going to be like on my deathbed. And I don't want to think to myself ever that I didn't chase my dreams, that I didn't put myself out there because I was scared of what people would think of me. Like imagine you're dying, you're not caring what people think of you when you're dying. Like you don't give a shit. Like you're about to leave. You're about to go into the spirit realm. Like you don't care. In that moment, you don't care. Right now, the fears and the care might be coming up. But when you're old, you're going to be like, damn, I wish I took that chance. When you're old, you're going to be like, damn, I wish I took that chance. I wish I put myself out there. Like, who knows what have come of that if I wasn't so afraid of being seen, if I wasn't so afraid of being myself. Like, why did it matter so much to me? I'm just like this little thing in the universe. And it's so true. Like, I mean, I would think that to myself if I was old. Like, I would think like, why would I settle? Why would I do this? Why would I listen to all these other opinions and all these other voices around me? Like, why didn't I listen to myself, my heart, my soul, my spirit, my my own journey, you know? So I think all those things kind of help me in overcoming those limiting beliefs, but they do come up for me all the time. They come up for me all the time. I feel very vulnerable, especially when it comes to my art. I feel my most vulnerable when it comes to my writing. I feel like I'm naked and I'm showing people like a nude. That's how I feel when it comes to my writing, especially. Like every other creative thing I do, I don't feel as vulnerable. But I think it's because my writing is so personal and so like sensitive to me, and it just brings up this extreme vulnerability. But I know that if like I want to publish a book one day, and hopefully that dream comes into fruition, or I it's just something I put out there, you know, yeah, I know I have to kind of overcome that feeling of, oh my god, I feel really really vulnerable, which I do, and I see that in myself and I respect it, but I don't want to let that keep me from showing my true self and showing up authentically. Because if authentically myself is, I'm I like to write, and you know, sometimes my writing is deep, sometimes it's cheesy, sometimes maybe it's not even the best, but it's me. Same with my art, and it's like just gotta risk it. And sometimes you're gonna look back at some of the things you wrote and some of the art you made, and you're like, I don't love that anymore. But it was true for me back then. So I respect it. But yeah, I am rooting for all the creatives out there, and I'm rooting that you receive the creative freedom and the creative abundance, and that you release any limiting beliefs that you have on yourself, and you put yourself out there and you let yourself be seen and you let yourself glow and you let that spark shine. But yeah, that will complete this video. Thank you for anyone who watched. Yeah, see you soon.